In the world of the young and the restless, where family drama and explosive secrets are a constant undercurrent, one of the most profound revelations has yet to be unveiled. For years, Billy Abbott has carried a heavy burden, one that has plagued him with questions about his past and his place within the Abbott family. However, the truth that is about to be revealed will not only shatter Billy's perception of his own identity but also change the course of his relationship with his family forever. Jill's struggle, the weight of the past. Jill Abbott has always been a figure of resilience and strength. However, as she watches her son Billy struggle with his own demons, she finds herself reflecting on the mistakes of her past. Jill recognizes that Billy's life has been a series of uphill battles, with little support from the one person he craved it most, his father. She watches him spiral, lost in a cycle of disappointment and anger, and feels an overwhelming sense of guilt. She knows that, as his mother, she could have done more to protect him from the emotional pain and turmoil he's endured. But Jill, too, has been battling her own demons. Life has not been kind to her, and in her final days, she finds herself wanting to make things right, not just for her, but for Billy. She knows that the truth she's carried for so many years is finally too heavy a burden to bear. She has one last chance to make amends, and she intends to take it. In her weakened state, with only 2 months left to live, Jill makes a decision that will forever change Billy's life. It's time to reveal the truth about his paternity. Billy's unanswered questions, the search for a father. For Billy, life has always felt like an uphill climb. Despite the love of his mother, Jill, he has always felt a deep sense of abandonment. He constantly wondered why his father, John Abbott, never showed him the attention and care he had shown to his other children. As the years passed, Billy's resentment only grew. Was it his fault? Was he somehow not good enough to be loved and cared for the way his siblings were? He struggled with a sense of inadequacy and loss, the weight of a distant father figure looming over him at every turn. Billy had always questioned his worth and his place within the Abbott family, but the answers had always eluded him. Was it because he had been abandoned? Or was there something else at play, something far deeper and darker than he could ever imagine? Little did Billy know, the answers were much closer to him than he realized. As he continued to search for meaning and connection, Jill, in her final days, would give him the answers he desperately needed. The shocking truth, Jill's final revelation. In her final act of redemption, Jill calls Billy and Victor Newman into her room. Her heart heavy with emotion and her body frail from her illness, Jill knows that this moment will define not only her legacy but also the future of her son. The tension is palpable as the two men, unaware of what is about to unfold, enter her room. Jill, unable to keep the secret any longer, takes a deep breath. "There's something I've been keeping from you both for years," she begins, her voice trembling but resolute. "Billy, you've always asked why you never received the love and attention you deserved from your father. You wondered why John Abbott wasn't there for you the way he was for others. But the truth is, you weren't abandoned, Billy, you were never truly his son." Billy's heart races as he tries to comprehend Jill's words, confusion and disbelief flooding his mind. Victor, standing nearby, watches Jill intently, sensing that something monumental is about to unfold. Jill continues, her voice shaking with emotion. "Billy, your real father is Victor Newman. He's the one who's always been there in your life, even if you didn't know it. I never told you the truth because I was afraid of the consequences. But you have the right to know the truth. You are Victor's son." Billy's world tilts on its axis. The words seem impossible to comprehend, but the pain in Jill's eyes and the weight of the DNA results she presents leave no room for doubt. Victor and Billy's reunion, a father and son's emotional moment. In the moments that follow, the room is filled with silence. Billy stands frozen, his mind spinning as the truth settles in. Victor, his father, steps forward, his expression a mixture of regret and sorrow. He reaches for Billy, pulling him into a tight embrace, his tears falling freely. "I'm so sorry, Billy," Victor whispers, his voice cracking with emotion. I never knew I had a son. If I could have been there for you, I would have. But I understand if you can't forgive me. I don't deserve your forgiveness. Billy, his emotions overwhelming him, clings to his father, a man who, in that moment, became everything he'd longed for, everything he had needed all these years. The two men, father and son, finally have the moment of connection they'd both been denied for so long. Billy's tears mix with Victor's as they embrace, a powerful, emotional release of years of pain and longing. The moment is raw, the connection undeniable. Billy finally has the answer to the question he's carried for so long. The father he never knew was standing in front of him, finally offering him the love and recognition he'd always craved. Jill's legacy, the final act of redemption. As Jill watches the father and son embrace, her heart swells with a mixture of sorrow and relief. She knows that she won't be around to witness the aftermath of her confession, but she finds peace knowing that Billy, at least, has the truth now. In her final days, she has given him the gift of understanding, of knowing who he truly is, and of having the chance to forge a relationship with the father he never knew. With a soft smile, Jill watches the emotional scene before her. She has made peace with her past and, in doing so, has set her son on a path toward healing and redemption. She may not have been the perfect mother, but in the end, she has given Billy the greatest gift she could, a chance to truly know who he is. The future, a new beginning for Billy. As the days pass, Billy's world begins to shift. The revelation of his true parentage has opened new doors for him, both personally and professionally. His relationship with Victor will undoubtedly take time to rebuild, but now that the truth is out, Billy can move forward with a newfound sense of identity. He's no longer just an Abbott, tied to a legacy of business and betrayal. He's also a Newman, a son of power and influence, and with that comes the possibility of a future he never imagined. For Victor, the reunion with his son is bittersweet. The years of missed opportunities cannot be undone, but he vows to make the most of the time they have left. Father and son will face their challenges, but with this new bond, they both have the chance to build something lasting. As for Jill, her final act of redemption has given Billy a chance to heal, to understand who he truly is, and to start a new chapter in his life. Though she won't be there to see it, Jill knows she's left behind a legacy of truth and love, a legacy that will carry on long after she's gone. In the world of Genoa City, where secrets often linger beneath the surface, the truth has a way of coming to light when it's needed most. For Billy Abbott, the truth has finally set him free, free to embrace the family he never knew he had, and free to redefine his future. The road ahead will be challenging, but with the truth finally in his hands, Billy's path is no longer uncertain. He is ready to take on whatever comes next, with his father by his side and a legacy of love to guide him. In Genoa City, where secrets and family drama often collide, the latest revelation about Billy Abbott is nothing short of life-changing. The emotional weight of Jill Abbott's confession to Billy about his true parentage has set in motion a series of events that will reshape the future of many. As Jill prepares to face her final days, her decision to share the truth about Billy's father, the one secret she's kept for so long, brings with it a flood of emotions, regrets, and unanswered questions. The question now is how each member of this complicated family will react to the seismic shift in their lives. Jill's confession, a mother's last act of redemption. Jill Abbott, frail and near the end of her life, has made a difficult decision. Despite all the reasons to keep quiet about Billy's paternity, she cannot bear the thought of him continuing to suffer the emotional scars of a life built on lies. "Billy," she says softly, her voice trembling with a mixture of regret and resolve, "I never wanted to hurt you. But you've been through too much, and you deserve to know the truth. Your father is Victor Newman." Her words, heavy with meaning, shatter the air between them. Billy's mind struggles to process the truth, the weight of the revelation pushing him into a sea of conflicting emotions. He's never fully understood the distance between him and the Abbott legacy, and now, the very foundation of his identity is being questioned. Tears well up in Billy's eyes as the reality settles in. He's overwhelmed by guilt, guilt for not being there for Jill, guilt for not knowing the truth, and guilt for the years he's spent living in confusion. I should have been there for you, Mom, Billy sobs, his heart breaking at the thought of losing her without truly understanding her sacrifices and struggles. I never knew. I never knew what you went through. Jill, despite the sadness in her own heart, smiles faintly. I know you did the best you could, Billy. I'm just glad you know the truth now. Maybe this will bring you peace, even if it's too late for me to be part of that peace. Victor's reaction. A father's guilt and responsibility. For Victor Newman, the news of Billy's true parentage comes as a shock. He stands frozen for a moment, struggling to process the weight of Jill's words. He's known Jill for years, but he never knew the depths of their connection, nor did he know that he had a son walking around in Genoa City. Victor steps forward, his eyes filled with emotion as he looks at Billy. I don't know what to say, Victor admits, his voice filled with a raw, unspoken regret. I never knew you existed, Billy. If I had, things would have been different. But I want you to know this, I'm here for you now. Whatever you need, I'll be there. Billy, still reeling from the shock of the revelation, takes a step back. The idea of accepting Victor as his father seems both overwhelming and impossible. He's lived his life with an absence of a true father figure, and now, suddenly, Victor is standing before him, offering something Billy never thought he would receive. I don't know if I can accept this, Billy admits, his voice heavy with doubt. I've spent my whole life wondering why you were never there. And now you're telling me this. I don't know if I can just accept that everything I thought I knew was a lie. Victor nods solemnly. I understand, Billy. But the past can't be changed. What matters is what comes next. We have time, and I want to make up for lost years. Billy's inner conflict, can he be a Newman? As Billy grapples with the revelation of his true parentage, he faces a personal dilemma, can he accept being a Newman? For so long, he's associated the Newman name with power, control, and the often ruthless pursuit of business. He's spent his life fighting against that world, finding his own place in the Abbott family, but now, he's being asked to take on an entirely new identity. Is he ready to embrace the reality of being a Newman, especially with everything that comes with it, the pressure, the expectations, and the legacy of a powerful empire? The weight of that decision hangs heavily over him. I've spent so long resenting the Newman name, Billy confesses to Jill. I don't know if I can be a part of that world, or if I even want to be. Jill, her health failing, looks at him with understanding. It's your choice, Billy. No one can force you to be anything you're not. But don't let your past define you. You have a chance to start fresh, to carve your own path. Nikki's reaction, a woman scorned. The truth of Billy's parentage doesn't just shock Billy and Victor, it also sends ripples through the rest of the Newman family, especially Nikki Newman. Nikki has always prided herself on the strength of the Newman family, and the idea that Victor has a child from another woman, one who isn't part of their carefully curated family unit, hits her hard. Nikki is furious at first. Victor, how could you keep this from me, she demands, her voice rising with anger. For all these years, you've let Billy live in ignorance, and now you just want to waltz into his life like nothing happened? Victor looks at Nikki with a deep sense of guilt. I didn't know, Nikki. I never knew he existed. But I'm not going to turn my back on him now that I know the truth. Nikki, still visibly upset, struggles with the idea of accepting Billy as part of their family. I don't know if I can accept this, she admits. This changes everything. But despite her anger, Nikki knows she must come to terms with the reality. The Newman family is about to get even more complicated, and if she wants to protect the family they've worked so hard to build, she'll have to accept the truth. Eventually, she finds herself reluctantly acknowledging that Billy's place in the family is undeniable. Jill's final act, the truth that changes everything. As Jill watches the emotional chaos unfold before her, she knows she won't be there to witness the resolution. Her time is running out, and her final act, revealing the truth about Billy's paternity, has changed everything. Billy, Victor, and Nikki's lives will never be the same. For Billy, the journey ahead is filled with uncertainty. Can he accept Victor as his father? Will he find a place in the Newman family, or will he choose to carve his own path outside of the legacy that comes with that name? And most importantly, can he ever forgive himself for the years he spent searching for a father figure, only to realize he had one all along? For Jill, the truth was her final gift to Billy. She has set him on a path of understanding and redemption, allowing him to see who he truly is. And in her last moments, she can finally rest, knowing that Billy's future, though uncertain, will be shaped by the truth. A new beginning, Billy's future. Billy's life, once marked by uncertainty and self-doubt, is now at a crossroads. The truth about his parentage has shaken him to his core, and he must decide what kind of man he wants to be moving forward. Will he embrace the Newman name, with all its power and baggage, or will he continue to build his own legacy outside the shadow of his newfound father? One thing is certain, the truth has set him free in ways he never expected. The path ahead may be difficult, but Billy's journey to self-acceptance is just beginning, and only time will tell if he can finally embrace the family he never knew he had.